Is your character's backstory dull? Uninspired? Do you leave the table wanting more from your character? Well, here at Prologue Productions Podcast, we are here to help. With our crack team of practiced prologue practitioners, we use our tried and true method of improvisational and impromptu instruction to facilitate an impactful and fulfilling backstory. Send us your questions at prologueproductionspodcast@gmail.com and follow us on Podbean at prologueproductionspodcast.podbean.com. Please consult your GM to see if the Prologue Productions Podcast is right for you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Prologue Productions Podcast. I'm Jacob.
And I am Jake.
Now, if you didn't tune into last episode, we had made a very juicy backstory on a College of Valor bard by the name of Body Knock.
Bod the Bard.
Yeah. Hired killer displaced from his village is going into Neverwinter to help save his family and his community.
That's right. A criminal with a heart of gold, you might say.
Yes. And a heart for gold.
There you go. Hey.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
All right. Good start. So this time, same as last time, actually, we're going to try to flesh out our Lost Mine, our headcanon of how this, this campaign that, who knows, maybe we will end up playing with outside of just the podcast in the future. But we're going to try to pad out the party a little bit. We started with Bod the Bard. Who knows where the dice is going to take us today?
And I think depending on the setting or the adventure, we might choose to flesh out more like a larger party. But for some of the settings, like Forgotten Realms, some of them have quite the library of adventures to choose from. So in those situations, we might choose to do maybe one or two characters for each adventure. But keeping it fluid. Keeping
it cool. Most people start with Lost Mine. I know I did. Mm-hmm. So having 2 or 3 characters to choose from. And while we are rolling, we're going to make sure that we're not redoing classes because we already did a super sick College of Valor bard.
Yeah, we don't want to do another 2 bards in the same party.
While viable
and totally fine. Mm-hmm. We want to have variety for everybody. For those who like, okay, I don't want to be the face of the group. I want to be, someone who's sitting in the back. And
I want to be big dumb barbarian. Hit stuff, make damage.
Hit stuff, make bleed.
There you go. Mm-hmm. And that's just fine. So let's kick it off then.
Okay.
Let's start rolling some dang dice.
So we're going to start off with our class. What class are we going to be playing?
That's
going to be creating today.
That's going to be a D12 roll here. Speaking of barbarians. That is an 8.
8 is a ranger.
All right.
Now, for ranger, we have a few options in terms of a subclass. I believe we have 6.
It looks like we have 8.
Oh,
actually.
8, sorry.
We are fortunate enough to have access to the Drakewarden. And I think all the rest are, usually be 7 with fizz bands makes it 8, and we do have access to that. So just off the cuff, rangers are those that wander and live within the wild. Their skill to survive in harsh natural places is bested by none. Many rangers take on a role, usually in various ways, to hunt special types of monsters. Very diverse, kind of underpowered in 5e. That's sort of the general consensus. But they are they're very utilitarian. They can get a lot of stuff done, so it's a fun class.
Yeah, and if you want to have, a ranger doesn't necessarily have to be tied to the wilderness specifically, at least in terms of your background. He can be, he can be a investigator in the city, or
sure, yeah.
He's hunting down his quarries as a hired killer, similar to Body Knock. So that might be an interesting way to tie it in if the dice favor that way.
'Twould indeed.
Yes, of course. So.
Now we roll for the subclass. Somebody rolling a D8 for this.
What you got?
Ooh, that is a 8 on the die again.
Which will be a Drakewarden.
Hey, there we go.
Which is so juicy.
Very juicy.
Of a subclass. Out of all of them, I feel like that is definitely one of the strongest.
Oh,
in
absolutely.
In terms of like power, you're literally able to summon a Drake as a mount, which can further be upgraded to be flying and imbue your attacks with different elements. It's just really awesome, really thematic, especially having like the ranger companion as like a
As a legitimate Drake.
As a legitimate Drake instead of it being like a spirit of the forest. Or...
That grows with you, sort of almost like a Pokemon aesthetic too. It starts at small, gets to medium, hits large. You can mount it, it can fly, blah, 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 blah. You can summon it as different elements, different chromatic dragon types. It's freaking sick.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Okay, so we're going to...
Now we're going to hit the race.
Yes.
So for this, I'm going to be rolling a d20, the best dice in my opinion, because, ooh, look at that polyhedral.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that dodecahedron right there. God damn.
Real juicy.
I mean, god damn. All right, here we go.
What'd you get?
This is weird. This is another 8.
Another 8?
Yep.
That is a Genasi.
Juicy.
I'm quite partial to the Genasi myself. But we have a few different options. We have air, earth, fire, and water.
Let me roll a d4 for this one. Let's see what tribe we belong to. That is going to be a 4.
A 4, which is a Water Genasi.
It's a Water Genasi.
Very nice. Very good. Now, a water Genasi Ranger. I feel like that's pretty appropriate.
Yeah, I'd say so. They have it. They already are sort of naturally tied to the elements in their nature. So
now that's having or being a Water Genasi. You're almost like you can be like an oceanic ranger. That sounds super cool. So you could be like you can be a scout for a tribe of Water Genasi, or you can be, you're the protector of a certain area on the coastline. It's a very different take on a ranger.
Absolutely.
Rangers are typically tied to forest, but I like it already.
Let's see what D&D Beyond. D&D. Gosh, man.
What are you doing?
I don't know. For some reason, the Crazy Frog song just got summoned from inside my body and tried to come out mid-podcast. Anyway, so D&D Beyond says, Water Genasi descend from marids, which are aquatic genies from the elemental plane of water. Water Genasi are perfectly suited to life underwater and carry the power of the waves inside of them. They normally have shades of blue or green on their skin and a glistening texture. Or, fish scales, that kind of vibe. Their hair can resemble seaweed and can even move as if in a current. Let's see here. They can obviously tap into the power of the element that they are from or that they are descended from. So basically descendant of a genie, slightly longer lifespan. It does make sense that, they'd be near water. But Lost Mine does venture inland. So pretty much right off the bat, what comes to mind is, why is this Genasi choosing to move from the coastline or from the islands or basically the body of water that it grew up in and or around? So that's something to keep in mind while we're making this.
Yes.
This interesting character so far, Genasi Drakewarden.
Already like it.
Loving it.
All right, so we got that down. Now we need to look for background.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be another D20 roll.
Yes.
Let's get it going.
Don't you roll another 8 now.
That's a 14.
Okay. Very thematically appropriate is going to be an Outlander.
Dang, that is very thematically appropriate. Outlander. You played Morrowind, right?
Oh, that is right. They did
Hello,
call you
Outlander.
Dude, I put way too many hours into that. Mm-hmm. I used to actually create like builds. I would write it down, and I had a book full of these.
Oh, you had
characters.
your own Morrowind book.
Yeah, I'd make like a spell blade. I'm like, okay, what would like a centurion look like? And I'd just like create, and it's like, all right, this is what I do to start. And
yeah, my brother was super into it. He had those old, like thick. They're basically game guides, like the old ones that were really, really chunky.
Yeah.
He had one of those where it broke down all of the quests, all of the quest lines, how to get to where you wanted to go. But I was so unoriginal. Every time I made a character, they'd be a mercenary, and then
stealth ranger,
Yeah.
just one shot people from across,
Yeah.
from across town.
But the power, anyway. Back to D&D.
Yeah. So, Outlander, you grew up in the wilds, far from the comforts of town and technology. You've witnessed the migration of herds larger than forests, survived weather more extreme than any city dweller could comprehend, and enjoyed the solitude of being the only thinking creature for miles in any direction. The wilds are in your blood, whether you were a nomad, an explorer, recluse, hunter-gatherer, or even a marauder. Even in places where you don't know the specific features of the terrain, you know the ways of the wild.
Mm-hmm. It's so perfect.
Beautiful.
And we have origin here. So we have an origin table, which I think we're fond of tables on this podcast. So we're just
there's an origins table.
There is an origins table.
Lovely.
It's got forester, trapper, homesteader, guide, exile or outcast, bounty hunter, pilgrim, tribal nomad, hunter gatherer, or tribal marauder.
Well, let's see it then.
That's going to be a D10. Here we go. I missed. Here we go.
There you go.
That's a 10.
Which is
Tribal marauder.
a marauder.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
I like that. All two of our characters thus far have been
Three.
That's true.
We've technically done three.
We have technically done three.
We might release that one at a later date.
Mm-hmm.
That was our trial run.
That was our test. Although very interesting character.
Yeah.
So tribal marauder, Drakewarden, Water Genasi Ranger. It's so hard to in the English language know how to order things.
Is there what? None of the chromatic dragons are aquatic dwelling. I don't believe.
Technically, no.
Not inherently.
I mean, the ice dragon has a burrow speed. No, because black is sort of swamps, green is wilderness, like forests. Yeah, white is ice, and then which one am I forgetting here? Blue. I think blue is like deserts.
Yeah.
Because they're lightning.
Young black dragon.
Perhaps. I mean, we don't have to be super specific about it.
No.
Although part of the Drakewarden class is definitely how you came to be in possession of your egg.
Yeah. Or maybe
Or not even an egg,
hear me out. A dragon turtle.
A dragon turtle.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's very interesting. A dragon turtle egg that hatched into a drake through some magical means.
Or maybe it exhibits some some features of a dragon turtle, but looks like a drake.
Yeah,
maybe it's got more like plated scales on its back or something to kind of looks like a shell. Mm-hmm. See, this is where you can still keep things mechanically the same, but tweak it in a way that fits more thematically for your character.
Yes, I feel like that's an incredibly important way of making your character feel unique. Is like you can flavor anything the way that everyone else does, and that's perfectly fine. When you find that unique way that your character does things, that feels real good.
Yeah,
it feels real nice.
So dragon turtle, or you could extrapolate that to any sort of very powerful aquatic water dwelling entity. Maybe a kraken, because you're a marauder.
That's true.
Or a marauder, maybe a kraken has bestowed upon you the powers of Drake.
Here.
I don't know how that would work.
I'll tell you what.
But dragon turtle makes the most sense. I think
it does. I think it does. First of all, dragon in the name.
Drake.
There is a Drakewarden origin table that does give some ideas.
Okay.
And you know what? You want to roll on it?
Let's roll it.
Screw it. Let's roll on it.
That's part of the deal here.
Part of the dealio.
So dragon. So I just need a dragon. So we got a dragon turtle.
Sure.
As our quote unquote patron, in a way, bestowing upon powers for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's roll a d6 for this here. I missed again. Oh, it's so far away. Oh no. Here we go.
Perfect.
I got it.
You got it?
We're very professional.
Got it? We've been rolling dice for years, and you just...
It's just at a weird angle.
Find a way. You
It's
find
just
a way to
weird
miss. It's okay.
A 4.
Which was it?
You ingested a few drops of dragon blood, forever infusing your nature magic with draconic power. Could be good. Could be fun.
A marauder. So, a marauder, you would assume that you're part of a community. Maybe you were part like a hunting party who was trying to kill a dragon turtle.
Yeah. You ingested some of its blood.
Ate some of it, and for whatever reason, it chose you. Or you ate maybe you ate the heart of the dragon turtle, eating the heart of the dragon
I'm
turtle.
imagining
Or like whoever, it's
imagining a heart that's like the size of a boat.
you cut off a piece. It's more of like
Yeah.
you killed the thing, you guys are cutting it up. Maybe this character was the one who landed the killing blow, so as part of this culture, it's your not duty. What am I thinking of the word? You are gifted the opportunity to have the first bite of the heart.
You're
as
talking about sort of like a coming of age ceremony kind of thing.
or maybe it was a coming of age,
Yeah.
where this was a young dragon turtle that was around, and that's like the hunting like the largest creature in the area is part of your community's coming of age, and so you had to eat the heart of the dragon turtle.
Yeah.
So you can even be in a long line of Drakewardens, if that's the case.
Yeah. Yeah, that actually, I like that idea. You're like next in line. There's a specific family or like elite group of warriors in this Water Genasi tribe that if they show a sort of attunement or a natural bent towards, like the values or tenets of being a ranger, the best of those become a Drakewarden. And that's through a sort of a ritual in which a young dragon turtle is found, hunted, and consumed. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty sick.
super cool.
I like that a lot.
And so by extension, your Drakewarden, even if you change its element, is still going to show some of those attributes of a dragon turtle.
Absolutely.
Whether it be the snout, maybe is a little bit more angular and kind of. Don't they kind of look like snapping turtles?
Dragon turtles? Yeah.
I guess
yeah.
it can technically look like whatever you want. But.
That's true. But yeah, according to, sort of classic, the classic art, it looks very much like a snapping turtle.
So it can do that, or it can exhibit some of like the large plated, like a large plated shell on its back or something. So you can have it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like
I
that.
think you would still want to have it look somewhat like a dragon turtle.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then it obviously this isn't necessarily something from Drakewarden, but I would house rule. It has a swim speed, obviously, and that's pretty much it. It has a swim speed and it can breathe underwater.
And dash it.
Yeah, it has a swim speed. It can breathe underwater.
Well, here's the thing. So
Easy add.
your Drake does basically level up as you level up. So it starts off being small, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, small dragon. And then as you level up, so the 7th level Drakewarden feature is it grows wings and gains a flying speed equal to its walking speed. It gets medium size. You can use it as a mount, however, it cannot fly. Magic Fang resistance to the type of the draconic essence. But yeah, if you're feeling, like you can homebrew some stuff for your characters, which you should always feel like you should be able to do. Don't let anybody tell you any different, even if it's a little bit broken. Don't worry about it. Your players are going to have more fun. You're going to have more fun.
Worst case, you can always reel it in. We're like, hey, I gave you something, and you can be completely honest. It is really difficult to make encounters for you guys because of it. Let's pull it back a little bit, see how it goes. If you feel like it's underpowered and you're not enjoying it, then we can go back and revisit it and tweak it to make it fair for everybody.
Yeah, maybe
collaborative effort.
Sure, and maybe like you have specifically a Drake turtle summon along with the chromatic white, black, blue, whatever summons that you can normally choose from.
Oh yeah, perfect. And then that would give
that one has the swim speed.
The swim speed. It can breathe underwater. Yeah, in addition to the other summons.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Easy.
Yeah, easy peasy. All right, next. So that's sort of the background. Next, we're going to roll on age. We're going to see if it's young, adult, middle-aged, or elderly.
Yes. Now, I believe Genasi lives similarly to humans. So
a little bit longer.
Maybe a little bit longer,
Yeah.
but
So like up to like 120, I believe.
something like that.
So let's roll this D4 here. I did it. It's an adult. He or she is an adult.
An adult. Okay. So this could even be like, this coming of age has just happened. Or has happened within the past few years or something.
Yeah,
like
for
that.
sure.
So,
Definitely.
yeah. All right. Perfect.
And now our tragedy meter.
My favorite.
Oh, it is definitely my favorite too.
Okay, so let's see.
So, 1, nothing tragic. 10, everyone's dead.
that's the rule.
That's basically
that's the meter. Everyone's dead and he hates everyone and everything.
Yep. That's an 8.
That's an 8. This is very tragic.
Very tragic.
Very tragic.
Incredibly tragic.
Okay. But then, you know what? Tragedy creates a great and colorful backstory for which to pull all sorts of heinous things to do to that character later on.
You bet your ass it does.
Coming from a man who has a horribly tragic backstory for his character.
Oh, yeah.
It's the more tragic your backstory, the more ammo you give your GM to shoot you with.
Isn't that just fun?
Yeah, it's great.
Don't you just love it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
DMs, embrace tragedy because, let's be real, most characters are going to be a little bit tragic. Otherwise, why would they go adventuring? You know? It sort of fits the bill. Mm-hmm. So embrace that. Write it down. Make them pay for it. Hurt them. Hurt them in their soul.
Yeah.
Make them wish that their family was alive. Or whatever. That's kind of hard. It's kind of harsh. It's kind of hardcore. I'm going to stop whispering.
Yeah. Eradicate their entire species. It's really cool.
Entire species. Yeah, we're going straight to genocide. We rolled an 8, not a 10.
Yeah, my character's a 10.
Yeah, your character.
No, my character's
is
an
1.
11.
Your character is
horribly tragic.
Typhon's been through it. Anyway.
Anywho.
So that's pretty much it. That's all of the little bits, pieces, odds, and ends that we need to really get into the backstory of this individual.
Yes. So, tragedy, he's a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what are we thinking?
I'm thinking, I mean, we've pretty much we've touched on Marauder, Dragon Turtle Ceremony, Water Genasi Tribe. I'm already feeling if it's Dragon Turtle, it has to be oceanic. Mm-hmm. So, and the Sword Coast is home to many, many hectares of water.
A who now?
I don't know if that's a real measurement. A hectare? I think I'm just.
I think you made that up. But you know what? That's what we're here for. To make shit up. So, so sure, why not?
Hectare.
So sure.
Oh, it's a hectare is 2.47105 acres.
Okay, sure.
So it's many. I don't know why I use that word. It sounds good though. All right, so I think that it's 8 tragedy.
Yeah.
8 tragedy. Obviously, something happened to the tribe, and this individual was pushed onto the coast. Neverwinter sits right on the coast. They're seeking something inland. Maybe the very same young dragon turtle that they hunted, sought out, and slew for their extremely gruesome ancestral rite of passage into Drakewardendom. Mm-hmm. Maybe the parent of that turtle came back and basically just had a personal vendetta, because dragon turtles are intelligent.
They're highly intelligent, and
are.
They do very much hold grudges and they will go out of their way to seek their vengeance.
Mm-hmm. So I think already that's a perfect late game enemy.
Oh yeah.
A dragon turtle, which is challenge rating 17. So that could always be fun, especially if you're thinking, as a DM, thinking long term past the levels 1 to 5 of, of Lost Mine. Mm-hmm. Maybe bring it back to the coast. If you're going back for some reason, there's a dragon turtle on the loose.
Yeah, there's I don't know if this mission is necessarily tied to Lost Mines, but the lighthouse just off the coast. I forget which lights on the coast. It's being haunted by.
Oh yeah,
something.
That's the Tower of Storms. That's Dragon of Ice Spire Peak.
Ah, I see. Well, we could pull that. We can pull one of those out.
Pluck in the missions from Dragon of Ice Spire Peak and sort of placing them into Lost Mine is a good way to pad out the sort of kind of, I don't know, they're a little boring, the stuff in Lost Mine, but
even you can have like a hint at this character's backstory during the mission. Maybe they see a weird structure there's a creature that sort of crests up just over the coastline that this character ends up seeing, and realizes, oh, he's coming. Who? Maybe they have a name for this specific dragon turtle.
Yeah.
You know?
Or maybe they start hearing tales of ships being sunk off like way too close to port. And there's sort of a panic amongst the community of, who did this? Who pissed off this dragon turtle so hard? They even have tables for dragon turtle personality and ideals, adventure hooks.
That's great.
Connections. That's super cool.
So we're saying that the parent of this dragon turtle like killed off maybe a large group of this Water Genasi?
Yeah.
Or maybe not necessarily all of them, because we're at an 8. A 10, everyone's dead.
Yeah.
So maybe there was just a few, maybe a couple members of his family are the only ones that are surviving, or
like maybe that so classic scene of this person. And you know what? Let's come up with a name real quick.
Yeah.
What are we thinking? Let's go to
so Water Genasi. I mean, typically it's kind of fun to lean into the aesthetic of your character. So Water Genasi, it can be something related to water in some way. Wake could be cool.
Wake could be cool.
Don't laugh at me.
I'm not laughing at you.
Current, spelled with an A.
Like the berry?
Like the berry. Coney berry.
Coney berry. Whoa! Yeah, I hear you.
Whatever you think.
Maybe you're like Tiide. Tide for short.
Tide, sure.
Yeah.
TYD.
Or maybe if it could be something a little bit more esoteric as far as like water's concerned. Like creatures. They're named after creatures. Or like tribal like names. Throw some clicks in there.
Yeah, sure. I guess it doesn't necessarily.
I came up with body knock, so this one's all you, baby.
I like Tide. But no, Tiide. Tiede?
Teed.
Tiede.
Teed.
Yeah.
T for short. What's up, T?
Yeah, what up, T? What up, T? Yeah, Tiede. Teed. It doesn't. We'll stick with Teed.
Yeah, we'll stick with Teed. We don't need to
come up with certain names.
I'm thinking something very classically fantasy though, of like Teed Shallow something.
Teed Shallow Shore. Sure. Teed Shallow Shore.
Shallow Shore doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Why not?
Because, anyway, sure.
It's a name.
Teed
Deepwater. Sure. Teed Deepwater.
Sure. Teed Wave Ripper.
It's okay.
I like Teed Wave Ripper. Wave Ripper.
No, that's a fun activity that the Water Genasi like to do. They like to go wave ripping.
Hell yeah. We're really fleshing this
Look
out.
at that. See? Easy.
Yeah.
And it's all these
like
random things that you just come up with on the spot during a session. Yeah, maybe he's a little bit more of a surfer dude.
Yeah, maybe he's like, dude, I don't even know. Came back from a mission. Whole family.
Came back from
bad, bro.
Came back from my coming of age mish, and dude, fucking this turtle's died. Just came in and fucked everyone up. Fucking gnarly.
You know what I tried to say?
Dude.
I tried to say, Daddy, chill. Killed my whole family, dude.
Killed my whole family. Like harshen the mellow for sure.
Oh, that would get so old.
It would get.
It is really funny though.
Yeah. So if you want to lean into being a silly character, then here you go.
That's your prerogative.
That's my prerogative. Killed most of family. Okay. Cool.
And mind you, while this may not be original, it is tragic. And that's really what we're going for here.
Yeah. Oh, and we're going with the really simple, like, hey, okay, he hunts dragon turtles. What would happen? The parent would probably be pissed and come over and start killing people.
Oh, for sure.
Because they're looking for their kid and their kid's dead. Mm-hmm. But you can make it more esoteric. You can make it a little bit more elaborate if you want. We're keeping things simple, but still giving you those little nuggets of what if we extrapolate that little nugget of information there.
So now I think we dive into how Tiede gets to Neverwinter.
Now is Tiede a man? Is Tiede a lady? Or what's? I mean, not that it necessarily matters, but
No.
no.
Tiede could be both though.
Teed could be both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gender fluid.
Gender
if you will.
fluid.
If you will. Anyway, how does Teed make it to Neverwinter? Why is Teed in Neverwinter?
Why is Teed in Neverwinter? And why is Teed wanting to go to farther east, away from the ocean?
Well, I can think of one big reason. There could be a congruent reason or a similar reason as to why adjacent reason as to why Teed is venturing inland. One, probably to get away from the dragon turtle.
Yes.
But also maybe got some informations pertaining to
multiple
informations. Yeah. Multiple sources of informations. Thank you very much. Okay. It's probably a thing.
Go ahead.
It
Sorry,
feels right.
I can't help it.
Anyway, perhaps she's obviously not strong enough to kill a dragon turtle, so perhaps she's looking for allies to help gain a party or gain allies to help her slay this dragon turtle.
Now the more we talk about it, the more I'm like Avatar.
A little bit.
Blue people, like literally Na'vi, like the water Na'vi in the newest movie. I'm getting I'm thinking exactly like a Na'vi tribe, like living on an island. They have this Drakewarden ritual, and then they do it the wrong way somehow, and most of the tribe gets slaughtered by this dragon turtle who comes, and now it's just she or he. We'll just say she. We'll say Teed is she. We'll say she doesn't know who is left, but she flees because she needs to find She needs to find powerful people to come back and either take revenge or appease this dragon turtle in some way.
Right.
And I think...
So maybe researching into dragon turtles, what's their weakness, or can they be reasoned with, or even trying to find information. Maybe this is a very legendary dragon turtle that is within the coast. So maybe there's stories that are pertaining to deals being struck with it, or...
Yeah. And again, like... In the Avatar movie, right? Like the whales, basically, they're like analogous to whales that they bond with. If you kill one of them, you're basically like they treat it as if you killed like another Na'vi.
Yeah.
So maybe they like made a mistake and
maybe
they
she was
killed...
supposed to. It was supposed to be a fight, and she was supposed to weaken it to then gain to drink some of the blood, but then she shot it right in the heart or something and killed it.
Or maybe it was driven crazy for some reason. And then that can also it was driven crazy through some reason. And instead of it being like a very cordial ritual between the tribe and this young dragon turtle, and they have this sort of like deal with the dragon turtles where they give it treasure in exchange for like letting them undergo this ritual. Instead,
maybe it's crazy. A very simple ritual as... Yes, we've made these deals, so we're to coming of age. It's like the Last Airbender thing where, they bestow you a drop of their blood to give you the powers of Drakewarden, but it was sick. Something about it is corrupted. Maybe it was injured and felt threatened by this group, and then it lashed out and attacked.
My personal favorite when it comes to moments like this is... Use this. If you're a DM and something like this comes up...
I like that more than killing the child, and then now this is like...
because that doesn't make any sense, really, when you think about it, because dragon turtles are intelligent, and they can communicate. And, I mean, this tribe would be able to communicate with them, right? So...
To some extent,
To some extent. So, I definitely think that ritual gone wrong for some reason, and then this dragon turtle that was, like... Again, other Avatar style. We're pulling from both. Goes crazed, and then boom, that's you as a DM. You take that. How did that dragon turtle go crazed, or what happened? And maybe you have a BBG from that, or maybe you have a mid game boss, some sort of other water dwelling evil creature or organization took something or corrupted that dragon turtle, and now. Boom, why did this happen? Why is everybody dead? I need to go find answers, and I need to find powerful people to bring back to figure this thing out.
Or if you want to lean away from the magic, it could be something as a group maybe killed the child and then blamed this tribe or it somehow the blame got put onto this tribe and then it killed that way. So there's a lot of ways you can.
Yeah, there's a
lot
lot
of ways you can go with it.
There's a lot of ways you can spin that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, so a reason, we have a reason right there for leaving the comforts of the Sword Coast aquatic lifestyle and heading into Neverwinter. We have a reason for seeking out powerful people. And why would Gundren seek this person out, or why would they seek out Gundren and travel to Phandalin? Maybe they heard rumors that there is Tyne Wave Echo Cave. Maybe they heard rumors that there's somewhere that they can find very powerful magic items, and they want to seek revenge, find these powerful magic items, and the best way to do that, hook up with Gundren and the rest of the party, travel to Phandalin and see what's going on.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. I like it.
That sounds great. I think that's what it is.
Short, sweet, simple. You have some tragic events, and you have some stuff that you can that you can further flesh out if you want to do more specifics, and yeah, just as good. I like it.
Everyone enjoys a good aqua villain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's also a good reason to delve out of your comfort zone and sort of do some ship or underwater based adventuring, which, boy howdy, am I excited for in our campaign.
Oh yeah, so good, so fun, so exciting. And then this character being a Water Genasi is really great because they're very much in their element. And then it's going to leave it to the rest of the party to find a means to carry that extra weight of, it's difficult for a land-dwelling creature to go into the water, so getting their magic items or getting potions and stuff. And then, yeah.
That is awesome.
That is fantastic. I like it.
I like all of it.
So Tiide would probably seek out Gundren in this case.
I think so. I think probably there are rumors that the Rockseeker brothers have found something. And, Gundren's looking for people. Gundren's looking for adventurers.
Yeah, I can give you this information in exchange for you coming along with this escort. Then I will point you in the right direction.
Or maybe even, depending on how you want to rock the alignment of Tiide, maybe Tiide is hiding these things. Maybe Tiide has ulterior motives that Tiide is hiding from the rest of the party and from Gundren. And then when they get to Phandalin, Tide's on the hunt, Ranger style. And by the time Tiide gets to level 3 and she unlocks her Drake through, whatever means that comes around, whether it be, the group finds a dragon egg or the power is burgeoning within her. And then she, whenever they reach a body of water, splashing out from the water comes her Drake companion. And that's sort of like something you should plan with the player. Absolutely. Like, when you reach level 3, like you're level 2, you know that they're about to hit level 3. You have a conversation with the player. You say, hey, you're about to get your Drake. How can I make that happen in a way that feels good for you?
Right.
Does it appear from an egg that you found? Do you summon it strictly like from the ether? Whatever. Does one of your tribe's members come into Phandalin because they heard that you had traveled there? They're on the brink of death and they have this thing that they found that's like a dragon turtle egg that they die and give it to you with their last final breath. That would be really cool.
Or a dragon turtle tooth you wear as a necklace, or it can be whatever you want. It can
be whatever you like.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm pretty happy with that.
I'm very happy with this. This is fantastic.
Fantastic. Now, I think one extra little bit we can throw in is character connections. Bod and Tiide coming together on this trip. We already have a ranger and a bard. Those are the beginnings of a great party.
Correct.
A great, fantastic party.
Yes.
And they don't necessarily need to know one another, but if you're trying to tie characters together at the beginning of a campaign, which as a DM helps roleplay flow immensely, it is, I think, an extremely good idea. So, maybe even Tiide came into Neverwinter and was seeking out allies or seeking out information, and Bod knows what's going on in the area.
Oh yeah, Bod knows
Bod's tied in.
all the under the table dealings, especially.
Is that like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
I want to make sure I didn't break your D4. I
No,
got
you
worried
broke
for
it.
a second.
It's fine.
No.
Yeah, I have a very noticeable chunk of my gemstone D4 missing because I
Yeah.
dropped it on some tile floor one time.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I thought I did it. You could have made me feel real bad
I
for
could
a
have.
second there.
I could have.
Thanks for not doing that.
Yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, I mean that would be a simple way of doing it. Just body knock is part of the underground or part of the seedy, the sleuthy underground of Neverwinter, and that's a great way of finding informations about things, very unsavory information. So that could be simple, or
that could be great too. I'm thinking like Tiide comes into town, young or adult. We'll say young adult. Water Genasi doesn't really know much about the world outside of her tribe. Comes to the city, goes to the wrong taverns, asking the wrong people the wrong questions.
Oh, yeah.
And Body has a sense of community. He's got a heart of gold. So he sees.
Listen here, sweetheart. You can't be poking your nose in all kinds of unsavory business. Let me tell you.
You come into the beach Leviathan and you're asking people these questions. Come with me. I'll show
Come with
you.
me. I'll show you the ropes here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bod's got the connections, baby.
So that would be
perfect.
And as money hungry as he is, body knock. He's got a good heart.
He's got a good heart.
He's got a good heart and sees this person like, oh, Jesus Christ. Just
this
like,
person needs help.
Oh, this person.
Yeah. And I got to get out of town. I'm going somewhere. And I'm thinking of a Navi accent for Tiide. Now, how would that sound, Jacob?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. When you think tribe, like you think like an Inuit tribesman or tribe person, but
I'm trying to summon up that Navi accent, but it's been a while since I've seen it. I'm thinking like, because they say like Jake Sully, and you're like, my name is Tiide from the islands of Moonshe. I'm here looking for
that's pretty good.
It's a little slightly gesture. It gets a little gesture there, but yeah, that could be good.
Yeah, I come from the Moonshe Isles and I'm looking for some informations about. I turned into hey, looking for some informations. I'm looking for informations. Would you happen to have said informations for me?
And she talks in like a very broken speech. That would be so fun.
Yeah.
That would be so much fun to play.
That'd be fun. And later on you can fizzle it out as like she's learning the dialects of which these people speaks,
Yeah. Watch Avatar before you play this character. Lock that accent in. Boom, baby, you're good.
And that's a lot of fun. I like to do stuff like that, too.
Yeah, me too.
For my current character, it's, the Irish accent comes and goes at times, but
it does.
I literally research and listen to some podcasts regarding, some, oh God, who was it? The Talking Bollocks podcast. They have really, really thick, Northern Irish accents.
That's funny.
Yeah, and that's really fun to do for me, but if you don't want to do that, that's fine.
Yeah, but having a character voice is one of the many joys of role playing that helps you and helps your DM, because your DM knows when you're role playing and you really get into it and you shake off those, the sort of that embarrassment everyone has when you first do a voice. There's going to be a little bit of that sort of reticence and embarrassment unless you're, a D&D vet or a TTRPG vet. Really get into it. Oh, it's so satisfying. It is so
Truly.
much. Well, all right. I think we have a pretty good character here.
Tiide Deepwater's looking pretty good.
Yeah, Tiide Deepwater. Not a huge fan of Deepwater, but Tiide is a great name.
Tiide is a great name.
Yeah.
See, you can really. This is the great thing about fantasy. You're like, all right, I want it to be water. Tide. Doesn't sound
Let's
fantasy.
Add an I.
Let's add another I and make it a E sound, or Todd or Tade.
Let's throw in a vowel that definitely doesn't need to be in there.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And she goes by T. And then she's got a paternal figure in Bod.
Yeah, and oh my God, so Body Knock is like, hey, how's it going, T?
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, get her into the get her initiated into the criminal backgrounds. And, yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be so fun. All right. That's great.
I like it.
That was a good session too. We have our Water Genasi Drakewarden Ranger backstory Outlander, and She's just trying to make her way and save or find, by any means necessary, the remains of her tribe deep in the watery realms of the Sword Coast.
Hence the name.
Deep
Water.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. We're going to have Tiide and Bod on character sheets accessible. We will have those links in the description. And we will catch you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, for real. Bye.